As I record this nugget for you, I look out my window and I see skeletons and witches because it's nearly Halloween time. And it got me to thinking about this Halloween album that I would play throughout my childhood every Halloween, and it began with Dracula saying, "So, you want to visit a haunted house?" And I couldn't help but think of it today as you may want to migrate your applications to the cloud. Let's discuss this in this nugget. If you're really bold, you may jump right in and move the entire application stack to infrastructure as a service. Now, I got a couple of comments here. Number one, try and pick something that's fairly easy to move. So don't start with some of the most complex applications in your environment. Also, you may want to consider not starting with the mission critical ones. Also, remember you want to do security testing when you move the application stack in this manner. Another way to go would be to go ahead and replace an application you're using with a software as a service alternative. So this would be great. And again, we would pick an application that would be safe to do this with. You might want to pick some desktop productivity application. Or if you're interested in a little bit more complexity, maybe it's a customer relationship management, CRM solution. These are often moved to the cloud to take advantage of anytime, anywhere access, for instance. Another way that you could go, though, is to move the application stack in pieces. So with a real complex application that's built in many different layers of services, perhaps some of those services can be migrated to cloud technologies, having the other services remain in your traditional IT infrastructure for some time period. Now, a few more suggestions for you. Remember what we have emphasized in our nugget where we were talking about successful deployment steps, and that would be a pilot. Really consider some desktop productivity app, for example, as a pilot to make sure the cloud provider that you're using, in the case of public cloud, would work for you. And make sure you get that service level agreement level of service that you need. Another tip that I have for you is just to remind you that if we are going to migrate applications, this can often be a bit more cumbersome than straight up developing our applications for the cloud. And we've discussed this in other nuggets, of course. When we develop for the cloud, we really pick up speed in how quickly we can bring services and applications to market for our users. And the other thing that we tend to love about developing straight away for the cloud is that it is very friendly when it comes to different iterations that we're going to give of our software. Iterations have been really crucial in development of software these days. And one of the reasons that is because software developers are turning to agile technologies, that's agile project management, more than ever before compared to more traditional like waterfall approaches to software development. By the way, if you're interested to learn more about Agile, and I suggest you do, check out our great Agile training here at CBT Nuggets. With Agile, software is not designed like all at once after a whole bunch of extensive processes. It's designed quickly in phases and iterations, and it's put in the customer's hands so that improvements to those iterations can be made incrementally and quickly. And the cloud really accommodates this more than our traditional, what we call monolithic IT infrastructures. So when it comes to migrating your applications to the cloud, remember a pilot. Remember that we can move our entire application stack. We can replace our application, more of a software as a service approach, or we could replace the application stack in pieces thanks to the service design of cloud and obviously the service design of our initial application. I hope this nugget was informative for you, and I'd like to thank you for viewing.